notimetodie TV. I'm here to review No Time to Die 2021. It starts off in the Alps. A little girl is running away from another dude with an iron mask in the Alps. She falls into ice water. In present time, the water. She's an adult now. James meets her and they drive to a nice place. Bond walks to a grave in a tomb in the Yasser Island. Yeah, Jasper Lynn died in 1979. A burst happens nearby, knocks him out, and he calls Agent M. He runs down the ramp. He sees a boy in a car, drives the walkway. The dude is on a motorcycle driving across. Bond jumps and knocks him off the bike and knocks him out. And the key falls out. And he goes to get the girl and jumps in the car and drives off. Classic Ian Fleming intro begins. Awesome. In the lab, people are talking. They drop information on a bomb down the shaft, and the rest of the soldiers. Now the people in the lab, and the whole place is about to be destroyed by these plans. Meanwhile, James is in the club, and they're playing Jamaican music. Then he sees an African-American girl in the club, and she looks attractive, and she's also a secret agent. They leave together. They get on a motorcycle, and Jane gets back, and she drives away. They go back to the house. She advances, and she comes as a professional courtesy, and he starts to take a drink, and she says she's an agent, just like him, 007. She calls, and then James goes to a spot where another girl brings him downstairs and gives him a tuxedo, and he puts it on. Then they're invited to a luxurious party, and there's a lot of people in there. And then suddenly a shot of gas hits the room. It's the Spectre, and everybody is sick, and they fall to the floor. And the Bonders, they looked to see where he went at. They couldn't find him. And the people's face turned bloody with their nose bleeding, and they also can't breathe. They started to attack. And Bond shooting. He's also his date double-wielding guns. It's intense and shooting everywhere. The man in the iron mask is trying to escape. Then the girl fought with a dress on, and she's doing sidekicks with the villain. Very cool. And then they had a toast with the last drink before they left the party. Then they went outside and they went into the car and they chased the dude down. You know, they also took a briefcase out of there. And then later on, the African American bond that they met earlier was disguised in a rooftop in a black bodysuit. She was shooting at, after them. In the red room, they brought the suitcase. Someone told that James Bond was going to be at the party, so they attacked the dude. The dude went in the plane and flew off. Then Bond was on a boat and suspectedly fell onto the water. She went down to swim out of there, back on the station. Then he went to see how to find Spectre. Then Q, M, and Bond, and Logan, Lashana, to find them. Then they shoot and position the various peoples, and they look at the analysts of them. They meet Dr. Swan from the beginning of the movie. Next, they interrogate the inspector and inject him, and he passes out dead. Dr. Swan talks with Bond. She brings him into a secret room, and she shows the pictures of the dude, everything. And they ask Q to find Lucifer Swan, Lashana, Bond at all angles in the forest. And the dude crashed to the floor, and they were trying to stop him. Lashana caught up with Bond, and they drove off. The Spectre brings out in the garden, and Bond and Dr. Swan is there. He had a long speech, and he takes the little girl away. Then Bond is on the island, so they try to spot the bomb for the weapons of mass destruction in the computer. Logan helps them. Then the Spectre has an ultimatum. Lashana, do you want to die in front of your daughter? Do you want her to die in front of you? Then Logan held the heavy dude nearby, and she sees the dude. The dude was one of the doing the experimentations with the peoples, and they had the people with the hazmat suits doing the poison on the floor. At the time to die, and he shoots him. Then he got his daughter back, Lashana, Oh yeah, Anne Bond walks Swan and the little girl. They said several shots are coming. They said several shots are coming their way. He quick draws first with the large gun rifle with a silencer, and he grabs and puts a chokehold on the dude and takes the gun and shoots him in the head, and the light went through his false eye. Him and the Spectre fight in the water in the greenhouse outside. He knocks him out for the final time. Then Q asks him if he left the island yet, and he said that all the missiles are going to be launched right now, and he tells him to get out of there. Swan and Logan and the kid are together, and she calls him, and he tells her that he's not going to make it. He has been poisoned. The nukes hit the island and explode. How devastating. Agent Q, Agent M, Lashana makes a toast to James Bond. The end. I give the movie an 8.5 out of 10. I thought it was pretty long, but a movie like this should be this length. The action was really great. This is the last movie that Daniel Craig is doing. I thought he did a great job in the time he'd been doing Bond. Casino Royale was good. I thought that was my favorite. Spectre was okay, and a few others. Hollywood will choose another Bond. Thank you.